All right. Happy Friday. This is our math assignment for today. These two pages that we're going to look at today are not in your math journal, so don't look for them there. They're from another book. So I copied them and pasted them into Seesaw here. So you have to do them on Seesaw, but that's okay. You can handle it. So the first page is kind of a warm up page, fractions of an hour. The next page is the actual solving multi step number stories with fractions. And then I did put in this one for extra credit, which if you can do the other two pages, you can figure out this one. It all involves using fractions and working with time. So let's start off by a little bit of a warm up here. So I'm going to zoom in a bit. This is fractions of hours. Use the clock faces, the face of the clock, it looks like a face, to help you solve the problems. So let's try zooming in, see if I can not mess it up too much. Hopefully we can see problem one. Oops, don't want to do that. All right, so problem one. So use the clock faces to help you solve the problem. So half an hour, and this is in your book. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. So that's pretty important to know. 1 hour. 1 hour, not 11 hours. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. I've had enough of that. I'm just going to do some typing here. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. There. Good. All right, let's pull that out of the way. So half an hour has to equal 30 minutes. It's kind of a weird thing to move around this thing. So half an hour equals 30 minutes. So 2 halves of an hour, 2 halves 2 halves of an hour equals 2 half hours. 2 times 30 minutes, which equals 60 minutes, which makes sense because there's half right there, 30 minutes, and there's another half. All right, let's do another one, and then you have to, let's jump down to the bottom. Usually like they have the hardest ones on the bottom. So let's see what we've got down here. Hopefully I can make it go to the bottom. All right, number 6, a quarter of an hour. Well, fourth of an hour is 15 minutes. So 2/4 of an hour, 2/4 or 2/4 of an hour is 2 times 15 minutes, which of course is 30 minutes. So this is going to help you when you get to the next one, to the next page. 3/4 of an hour is how many fourths of an hour? Well, I'm going to leave that one for you. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the next page. I'll do problem 4. How about that? And then you do problems 1, 2, and 3. So let's see if I can zoom in on it without taking 20 hours here. Scroll down to the bottom. There it is. All right. Omaria painted the garage. So that's her name. Omaria painted the garage. It took her 2 4/10 hours to paint each of the 2 larger walls. So there's 2 large walls. And then 1 7/10 of an hour to paint each of the 2 smaller walls. How much time did it take her to paint all 4 walls? So let's see. The 2 larger walls took her to paint each of them. Now that's a key point here. I almost missed that. Glad Valeria told me. Just joking. I saw it. So it took her each, and there are 2 of them. So 2 times 2 times, because there are 2 walls, 2 larger walls, 2 4/10. So this is going to be like the number model with the unknown. So 2 times 2 and 4/10. But then she also has to, see the word and there? Shockingly, and means plus. 4 and 3 is 7, you see. Okay, I learned that when I was a kid. 4 and 3 is 7, you see. All right, and then 1 and 7/10 hours to paint each of the two smaller walls. So two smaller walls times 1 and 7/10. So we're going to have to multiply these folks here. Let's try a different color for fun. We're going to have to multiply these two and then add them together. So go off to the side. 2 and 4/10. It's pretty ugly writing, but what are you going to do? Times 2. So 2 times 4/10 is 8/10. You got 4/10 and 4/10. It's 8/10. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, that takes care of that one. Different color for the other one. And then we've got 1 and 7/10 times 2. So that's going to be 2 times 7/10, 7/10 and 7/10. So 14/10. 14 little tenths. And then 2 times 1 is 2. Don't like that 14/10, do you? So 10/10 is going to be, I don't know, what color would be? 10/10 would be 1, and then there's going to be 4/10 left over. So 14/10, oh boy, that's an ugly color. 14/10 equals, oh, that's cool. I'm going to move it over here, equals 1 and 4/10. And then I need to bring that up and add that to the 2. So if I add that to the 2, since I've already taken care of that, so I get 3 and 4/10. So 3 and 4/10. And we're going to need to add these, add them all up. 4/10 and 8/10. 8 little tenths and 4 little tenths is 12 little tenths. And 4 and 3 is 7, you see. Okay, 7 and 12/10. And again, we're not crazy about that 12/10 there. So let's make it 12/10 is the same as 12/10 is the same as 1, because 10 over 10. And then how many are left over? 2. 1 and 2/10. And then we bring that and add it to the 7. Right? So it's going to be 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 and 2/10. 8 and 2/10 hours to paint that garage. It's quite a bit of work. All right. If you can do a problem like this, you know your fractions. You'll be ready for the big fraction test. It's multiplying, it's adding. You're doing that right here. If you can do these other 3 problems, 1, 2, 3, you're ready for action. You might as well just move you on to 5th grade. Okay. Good luck, everyone. Bye.